Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. So I tried, after last recording and getting no victories, I tried to play to 4 victories with this quest and I made it to 2 victories. And that's it. Then I'm just like, oh man, I don't have any more time for this. So I'm gonna try Warlock and Shaman now, and we'll go for 30 minutes, and whatever we get done, and then I think I'm gonna probably just spend the rest of the day playing this, unfortunately. This is certainly one of the many reasons why I keep falling behind, is doing Hearthstone. Should be playing Bioshock 2. I should be for the past like 4 days I've been playing Bioshock 2. I'm getting 3, maybe 4 hour-long recordings done, and it's just not as much as I would like. I mean, I'm putting out like 6 or 7 hours. I wish I knew for sure. I never do know, because the way I schedule things doesn't make that quite as apparent as you'd think. 6 or 7 hours of footage is coming out every single day, and except for Saturday and Sunday. So when you run that calculation, I might be making some progress, but not a lot. I think I may very well have moved ourselves forward a little bit by playing Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which now if I can just get Bioshock scheduled, I can put Brotherhood behind it. That may have that entire time slot may be scheduled into Christmas, New Year time, maybe, because Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is so long. But that still leaves the other 5 time slots of just videos. It's like, and then you get into those depressive thoughts. It's like, well, why don't I just give up? Why don't I just quit recording or pull back really far on the recording? I don't know what I specifically pull back on. It would be something in the middle. I could pull back to just the Lego games until I finish all the Lego games, and then no more Lego games or kids games. I could pull back.
This only works on the simple-minded. I'll find it.
I could only cover the main games. So do just the point-click one, the 7 o'clock AAA game title, and the kids game until the kids game was done. Then I could move right back to just covering 2 games, then a point and click and a AAA thing. Of course, that certainly isn't going to help my channel any. That would be incredibly bad move. Let's see.
Tonight, a tale of true terror.
You are not the boss of me.
Look behind you.
Brings about bear trap. Darn. But yeah, falling into these losing streaks with Hearthstone is a nightmare. It's a total nightmare. Being sleepy and dealing with insomnia is a nightmare. They're adding up. Just getting distracted, just being less than motivated, sitting in an uncomfortable chair that makes it very painful to stay in the same chair for 8 hours a day. It all kind of just adds up. It's this weird system.
On with the show!
Look behind you.
There we go. Speaking of my channel, I'm nearly at 150k, and I'd say nearly 70k of that is how to set up Hearthstone deck tracker, which totally needs a new video. I don't think I'm getting very many views on that these days as I was before, but then also, do I want to compete with myself? That's always the issue. It's like, do I want to try and replace this video and get another 70k on that video? That'd be nice. I like the concept here that I've gotten, I feel like I've gotten, well,
You are not the boss of me.
I feel like I've
This
gotten
only
well
works on
over
simple
the, I'm having trouble focusing again. I'm glad I don't usually record. That may be part of the reason why I do slow down, is because I'm not recording anyways, but no, I'm trying to say I'm glad that the 50k has come a lot faster than the first 100k, and it's freaking amazing that I've even gotten this many views. It's also kind of jaw-dropping though, with nearly 150,000 views, that I've barely made $100, which did clear. That check cleared, so I am officially paid by Google now. But
To my side.
but I would hope that at 150k views I would be somewhere in the medium, in the middle. I'm getting a good amount of subscribers lately too, so maybe good things are just happening, have finally decided to start happening. I don't know. I really don't know.
By the power of
I'm not gonna do a video at 150k. Frankly, I haven't really learned that much since the 100k video, which was a long rambling issue in itself, as a lot of my videos are kind of long and rambly. I know the beginnings of every series are getting more and more talking about the video settings and all at the beginning, when I'd love to be able to just jump into it, but it's also kind of important to cover these things. Make sure we discuss that. At least I feel like it's important to cover these things.
Well fought. I concede.
So if I got to 150k, I don't have anything that I can say different other than this is being a YouTuber in 2016, soon to be 2017, is really, really hard. Getting ad revenue is really, really hard, and it takes a lot more views than what I'm getting, obviously. Now, I did, one of the other YouTubers I'm watching just like moved and
You asked for it.
and bought this huge house, and I'm like, oh, good. So at least this person who has 1 million followers is making enough money to do it, and they only release like 3 videos a week, so they get a lot of views too. Yeah, so there is money to be made. Maybe not for me, but at least for the successful YouTubers, which is better than it just being an impossibility. I don't have a ton of things to talk about. The new Duke Nukem 20th anniversary maps, some of those have been shown off. I have no idea what they're doing with Duke Nukem, and I really don't know Duke Nukem. It's kind of like me and Castlevania too. It's just like that's a game I didn't play, so I don't really know anything about it. But I don't understand what they're trying to do. I guess they ran into the 20th anniversary
Mind
of
if I
Duke
roll
Nukem 3.
need?
And 20th anniversary is a big one. It's not a made-up anniversary. It's not like it's the 18th anniversary or something.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a
It
spell.
ends with a 5 or a 0, so therefore it is considered important to people who don't really
This
understand
only
math that
works on the
well.
simple-minded.
I don't wanna.
So I think they kind of ran into that. I think they want to resell the Duke Nukem games. The remastered version and the new maps doesn't look any really improved. It may very well be that it's all new textures, but it's in the same style, so it just looks better at a higher resolution. I suppose that is the appropriate way to do a like a remaster, is to do something so subtly that it doesn't seem like you changed anything at all. But I don't think you can. I don't think that's moving the series forward, and I don't know how they move the series forward. It's kind of funny because Serious Sam VR is out right now, and as I think about that too, it's this weird mix match of things where, like, if there's even enough room for one character that could be like Duke Nukem, it might be Serious Sam, which he's not quite as bad as Duke Nukem. But then eventually you have to grab the bull by the horns there, and you have to do a 3D game involving Duke Nukem, and you have to get over Duke Nukem Forever, and I just have no clue how you do that. It makes no sense.
So let's negotiate. You can see, and
I'll find it. Look behind you.
So yeah, it's a thing I don't understand, and I wish I did, and nobody's really explaining it to me. I'll be interested to see how much that sells. Speaking of sales, another thing I don't understand. The game Soma, which, if I'm remembering correctly, is the horror game Under the Sea, has been out for a year now, and in that year, I believe, no, I don't believe it wasn't just a news article. They have sold 500,000. No, wait. Did they sell 500,000 copies, or yeah, 500,000 copies? So yeah, I wrote that specifically because I knew I was going to confuse that and say something like, "Oh, they made $500,000." But no, selling 500,000 copies at $20, you're talking probably 2 million or 20 million or 10 million. Yeah, I'm so sleepy right now. Can't even remember. And see, the Warlock's winning. This is irritating. As soon as I start recording, I win, which I don't know why I'm really being irritated by that, because it's much better than the usual situation in which I start recording and I lose like crazy. But whatever. So is that a good number, is the question that I had to ask myself. Is 500,000 copies when you sell a game good or bad? How many people play video games? I know there's 7 billion people on the planet. Let's say half of them don't play video games. Then there are 3.5 billion. Let's say a quarter of people don't play video games. Then you would have 1.25 billion players of video games. Let's say of the 7 billion, only 1% of them play video games. Is that 7 million?
You are
I
not
need
the
a
boss of
calculator
me.
in front of me to do this math. 7 million, 70 million, 700 million. More people play video games than movies. So, let's see. Let's say 1 billion people play video games. I think that is probably a fair enough guesstimate. So if you do half a million, you have sold to potentially like half a billion. You sold to 50% of your audience. Is that feel right?
The truth is in here!
I was hoping this one would discard. There's just something that doesn't sound right there. Half a million. Couldn't be half of all potential sales. That you got every 2 people who play video games, 1 person has a copy of Soma. So I bet there's more than 1 billion video game players out there. 4 billion? Quarter of your sales? No. See, I'm just playing with numbers in my head trying to figure this out because I really have no clue.
This only works on the simple-minded. I'll find it!
Nothing makes those numbers mean any sense. Is half a million, 500 million, half a billion sales good for something like Call of Duty? Is it good for something like Deus Ex? I think I heard somebody say that they wanted some amount for Deus Ex, but I don't remember how much it was. So I'm just like so absent of any information. I'm kind of, it's impossible for me to even know
I'll find
how
it.
to feel about certain responses. Let's assume it's a good thing. I would assume since they're talking about it, it's a good thing. Does it mean anything, or does that time frame mean anything? Because I'm desperately, I've been told the fact, and I'm trying to contextualize it like a journalist should probably have the ability to do, but I don't have the research done to know. I imagine that the old way of thinking of video games is we want the first, well, I think I've even heard them say that they want the first 2 weeks of sales and nothing else even matters, which sounds pretty insane, but might very well be the case.
Look behind
I'm just
you.
gonna go ahead and do this one, and then this one, and then end the turn. Draw a card and end the turn. Job's done. So I guess that's a congratulations to Soma is about all I can say. 1 year later. 1 year later seems like kind of slow, but Soma is very much a Steam-style PC game, in my mind at least, and that tells me that
Tonight, a tale of glorious redemption.
they're cool with making their money.
Ends. Your nightmare begins.
Alright.
Job's done.
So, yeah.
That's incredible.
Like, if I made a game and put it on Steam, it would probably be, personally, just some side project. So I'd be cool with making money in the same fashion, in the same way as I'm theoretically cool with making money on YouTube, which is to say over the long haul. But if it was, if I was trying to make
On with the show.
a business out of it and fund my next production of my next game, then I seriously would have to reconsider it if I only made like a few $1,000s on a game for the first 6 months. I would have to certainly have a side job there, and that means production of whatever sequel game is going to be a nice. Sadly, in these industries, in the live industries, you kind of need to be an expert at doing something before it even begins. So you need to do things for free.
Taunt is in the way.
You need to do things for free, even though you shouldn't have to.
Sleep. On with
It's
the
an
show.
unfair system, but you also, I mean, Steam is picky. If you just want to put things on itch.io, that's fine. But we don't want a whole digital homicide situation again, which they got kicked off Steam, which fine. Apparently, it takes suing or threatening to sue Steam or Valve before they'll actually kick them off. Let's talk
Your soul shall be mine.
about the DLC for Rise of the Tomb Raider. This DLC makes literally no sense to me at all. It's called Laura's Nightmare, and it has
Greetings.
it has
The legions
like
I command hold.
zombies in it. So you're running around Laura Croft's apartment while you're having this nightmare, shooting zombies, and things randomly appear. It almost has kind of a Devil's Daggers appearance to it, but in 3D, which, by the way, Devil's Daggers got some update, which I guess that would be cool if I actually played that game or or anything. It has like a top-down replay mode, just so you can watch people play from top down.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's
Warcraft
here.
and zombies, it just makes no sense. It's insanity. This goes to show you just Ubisoft's garbage, straight from them. Instead of making Lara Croft stand out as one of their top tier products that focuses on her shooting guns, which is a change from how the game sort of was, because she would shoot monsters, but there was a lot more platforming, and I think they put some more platforming and definitely a lot more tomb raiding in Rise of the Tomb Raider. But to just shove zombies in the DLC, it's ridiculous. On one level, it's kind of a cool thing. It's almost like a mod. It's like, do you love zombies so much that we'll put zombies in every game, even if they totally don't belong there? On that idea, it's kind of a cool idea, but in reality, it's just a waste of effort. People were working on making a zombie DLC for a game that has nothing to do with zombies and has never had anything to do with zombies. It's ridiculous. They did somewhat similar thing when they made Wolfenstein, I believe, the New Blood, or the Old Blood and the New Order, or one of those, the second one, and that kind of makes no sense. Also, when you have to make a DLC part of your game, a dream. I think that probably tells
Tonight,
you quite
a
a
tale
lot about
of
it.
long lost words.
You are not the boss of me.
Let's see, I've screwed this up, haven't I?
Well played.
Job's done.
Is he gonna disconnect? Well, we got about 5 more minutes. Now, here's something telling to me. The last thing I have to talk about, I wrote down twice separately and forgot about it. Jim Sterling, who I now have to completely refer to as just professional drama queen and internet troll. I didn't realize it was my turn. Did this Jimquisition, I shouldn't even watch it, but I mean, I'm addicted to the drama, I guess. He is a drama channel. That's what he is. He's very, very good at making his channel not seem like that, but that's exactly what he is. Once you really look at it and think. You hear the video somewhat relating to this game called Virginia, that's a mostly non-interactive kind of walking simulator. It does have some interaction story, and you play as this African-American woman who works for the FBI. Now, if I'm not even sure anybody actually complained about that and called him an SJW and all that. I'm not sure any of this actually happened, and it's not just a case of him making things up to make things up. But let's say for the sake of fairness, or just argument, maybe, that somebody actually did complain about this game Virginia because there's a woman in it, and that it's those people are 100% clearly anyone who has any understanding, and everyone should understand this. Those people are trolls, obviously. When they haven't even played the game, when they don't know what they're talking about, when they're uninformed, that's just people being trolls on the internet. There's nothing to respond to them. There's no reason to highlight them. There's no action necessary for that. And the fact that he makes a whole video about this, complaining about these trolls like they are legitimately care and they're legitimately complaining about stuff, shows kind of how up his own behind he is. If he truly believes what he was saying, that these people are legitimate in their what would be even the right word?
The truth is in here!
I don't know what the right word would be here. If he truly believes those people are upset about this and that they're actually trying to make an argument and they're trying to do anything but troll, then that shows his perceptive is so skewed that he's looking for people to be against him, because he is self-claimed SJW, at least in some parts, but I think mostly he's a troll as much as a troll. So it's kind of like trolls trolling trolls. The best thing to do in a situation like this is to ignore all involved and not do anything, but instead of talking about it, which is awesome. So he makes this one about Virginia, and he's like, all these trolls, all these people, but he doesn't call them trolls. He says they're legitimate people who are upset in this, and it's like, there's nobody's opinion that matters that's upset that there's an African American woman in a game nobody's gonna play. That it's just that simple. Virginia is not a AAA title game. If anything, I would say the place to be upset is that there aren't more African Americans and women in the bigger games, and that we do get a bunch of games that are just default white male people. But the truth is, the reason why they're made that way is because those sell overseas. So it's not even really an issue that can be affected in the United States or the West. Like, games will not sell in Asian countries. In some countries, I shouldn't say Asian countries solely. Like, I'm sure there's some Middle Eastern countries where video games, if they're sold at all, will not sell it if you're playing as a female. It's just not going to happen. So that's just dealing with cultures and then trying to sell it to as many people as possible. And there's no change in that. That's the same reason why there's so many white males in movies these days. In the old days, sure, there was definitely racism, there was definitely sexism in the old days. Like 50, 60, 70 years ago. But if there's any reason for it now, it's because of foreign markets, and they have the market research. And every single video game publisher sticks directly to the line that video games with girls do not sell as well. And that's how they believe it. And that's until the video game creators change their mind on that or get new research that tells them differently. That's how it's going to be. So there's nothing there. So that's strike one for Jim Sterling on the one thing. And that's about his average thing, is that he's always trying to troll the trolls without admitting that he's a troll himself. Mostly he's just trying to stir up drama to get his videos views, and he does get views. He is on rare occasions in the gaming tab is trending. However, not really even a day later. I mean, this just happened today. So, a matter of hours later, he then puts out a video where he is reviewing a porn parody of Overwatch. And he's blurring out a lot of stuff, and he does this a lot, actually. And more as he's getting bolder and bolder. He is pushing the limits of YouTube to see if his channel gets locked out, which probably won't, because the people at YouTube actually know who he is and have a business relationship, so it would be kind of unlikely that they would ever step into his own trap that he is setting there and ban him. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's got his own website set up to stream videos directly from that, and he's just waiting. He's just trying to claim, oh, YouTube is censoring me after pushing and violating all the community standards by far, having actual porn on his channel, whether he blurred half of it or not. He doesn't blur at all. He certainly doesn't come close enough. He'll miss things and forget things intentionally, and again, he's just creating drama. He's just so he can make himself look like the victim, which has worked for him in the past and gotten him attention. And so I think that's exactly what he's shooting for again, is this ability to say, I'm once again the victim, I didn't do anything wrong, clearly he is doing something wrong, but I imagine a significant portion of his viewers will still back him, regardless, and I imagine a significant portion of his viewers would jump over to another website. And I kind of get the idea of like, yeah, it'd be cool to leave YouTube if you could afford the streaming and everything, and bring all your audience there. But trying to get banned from YouTube so you can then use that for your own benefit is about the most dishonest way. So there's an just straight up intellectual dishonesty all about, I suppose. That's really what it boils down to. He's either lacking actual intellect or he's lacking honesty. One of those things is missing there, absolutely, because he knows that the people that are complaining about Virginia, the game, are trolls. He said the word trolls. He knows what they are. So bringing those up like those are legitimate complaints is pointless. He knows putting porn and reviewing porn in a mocking way is not going to be acceptable to what YouTube is trying to create here as a family-friendly thing. He's been pushing the limits for a very long time, and I don't know how you even deal with him if you're YouTube. Do you just ignore him and take the ad revenue you get from it? Do you take? Do you kick him off your service? I don't know. I seriously have no idea. I guess as YouTube, you just gotta draw a line in the sand at a certain point and say, you know what, you're out. You're out. You can't come back in. That would potentially help my channel. That would potentially. Well, I guess I can't summon this now. And it potentially would help all other channels, but it also might very easily just lose all of a lot of people that only come to YouTube to see his videos, which there might be a good percentage of people like that. I suppose in a bigger picture, and I know we're going long here, this will be a last game. In a bigger picture, the question is just how do you get somebody to act professional when they don't want to act professional? I mean, he has Patreon, so Jim Sterling is kind of set for money, always.
This only works on the simple mind.
That losing Patreon income is really difficult. It can happen, but you have to be really motivate the people to go cancel their Patreon pledges. Otherwise, it's just taken out of their accounts. I imagine there is a card rejection drop-off that would eventually happen if you can't continuously promote your Patreon. So if he was kicked off YouTube completely, then he would have to go through his own website, and he would probably see a significant drop off of his Patreon. And see, it's really strange that this is his job, his only job, but he's willing to risk it all for stupid gags and causing drama. He must get so much ad revenue. I don't even think he does. So he just must not be running the numbers right, obviously. Living a gross. Because it doesn't make any other sense.
Tonight, a tale of terrible tragedy.
But also, he probably just can't help himself.
The truth is in here.
Astounding.
Let's see. So, I kind of wish YouTube would just have a shadow ban system where you, instead of deleting people's channels, you just shadow ban them. And then all of a sudden, his videos are, he's putting videos up and such, but it's just going to a website that's that only he sees, and it's not getting suggested to anybody else. The greater question is, how do we fix YouTube? And one of the things is getting the drama things off. And if YouTube could stop feeding the drama people, like Philip DeFranco, apparently his family just put up, his wife just put up a video that said his office was broken into, and barely knowing anything about Philip DeFranco, just that he's kind of a drama guy, I don't even know if I trust that they're actually broken into, or if it's just clickbaity titles that I had no interest in actually looking at.
I'll find it.
So
On with the show.
having just that lack of trust. Let's see. Having that lack of credibility really hurts these channels. But yeah, if we could get rid of the drama channels, if we could clean up the gaming channels so that like people telling their boyfriends that they're pregnant as a prank isn't considered a video game, that would be nice too. So many videos in the gaming feed that's not there. If the gaming feed went longer and it wasn't just us top 20 of what seemed like hand-picked, and if they are hand-picked, that makes no sense that wrong videos are getting in there. So I certainly don't know how to fix YouTube, but I could make a few suggestions. But they need to go in there with a scalpel, not a broadsword. So go in there and say, the drama channels that we named here, here, and here, we've decided to terminate our business with you. Take your videos, go away. We'll give you 6 months before we delete them. Be real nice about it, but just like, we don't want you on our channel anymore. And none of your new videos can be uploaded. So you're not going to put a video here saying we're kicking you off, because we're not going to let you make drama on our front-facing platform like you've been doing. We're going to have this done in the background. And they all violate some terms of service, so it would be easy to do that. But they seem like they don't want to do that. They seem they're too independent on the income from the drama channels, which are the worst. At least in the old days, you would get like people arguing back and forth between reactions, but it was at least ideas. Now it's just people shouting into the void, which, heck, that's what my channel is. So, looking here, I've got more work to do, and I'm probably going to spend the rest of the day just playing this. We went 45 minutes almost. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.